When I took a DNA test, I never expected this.
Holy sh**, how the f*** am I?
I've wanted to know my ancestry ever since I was in 3rd grade. I remember my friends saying, I'm Polish, I'm Irish, I'm Italian. They'd be like, Nishan, what are you? Black? They're like, no, what country? I'm like, oh, Africa? And they tell me, Africa, Nishan, is actually a continent, not a country. My 3rd grade mind was blown. I had no idea, and I needed to know the answer. I remember being so confused and lost. I asked my parents, like, what country are we from? They didn't know. So I went to the next best source, my grandparents. Okay, you guys are old, you should know. They still didn't know what country we were from. I was crushed. I was one of the only black kids in my school in suburban Detroit, and I remember thinking, this is just yet another reason why I don't fit in. I spent the next 20 years watching others embrace their heritage, from the food to the language to the beautiful traditions, constantly wondering, what are mine? This year, it was finally time to discover my own, but I forgot that the truth isn't always what we want to hear. There are really only 2 ways you end up in America. The first one is your ancestors choosing to come here for some specific reason. And the second one is by force. My ancestors came by the second path, meaning I am a descendant of slaves. But I had no proof of this until this year when I actually tracked my family tree all the way back to the 1700s. My 5th great-grandmother was actually biracial. Her father was white and her mother was undocumented. It's very likely my 6th great-grandmother was abused as a slave. I was speechless. Like, it's enlightening and disheartening at the same time. It filled in a lot, but left me with more questions. Like, is this it? What about everything before slavery? I was one step closer, but still couldn't answer, where was I from? That's when I did what no one in my immediate family had ever done. My wife, knowing the research I was doing at the time, bought me a DNA test.
You are not the God.
An ancestry DNA test, not to be confused with a paternity one. It's something I always wanted to do, but I could never really prioritize. So I spit into the tube, shipped it away, and a few weeks later, the results were in.
Your DNA looks most like DNA from these 12 world regions. So many different ethnicities and some European. Damn, I don't want this. Okay, so 31% Cameroon, Congo, and Western Bantu, 28% Nigeria, 16% Ivory Coast and Ghana, 5% Wales, 4% Senegal, 4% Norway, Benin and Togo, 3% Sweden and Denmark, 1% Coasian Aka and Mubuti peoples, and 1% Indigenous Americas. Oh my God,
I found out what that 3rd grade kid always wanted to know. I discovered my own heritage. Foods like jollof rice, I think I'm saying it right, and figures like Nnamdi Azikiwe. He was the first president of Nigeria who really helped them establish freedom. Even music like Afrobeats and American stories like The Great Dismal Swamp, where escaped slaves and Native Americans actually came together to create a community and an alliance. These are things I never knew that filled in a big part of my identity. Did learning my ancestry like completely change the world? No. But it changed my world and it changed the way I see myself. Like, I can walk with this confidence a little bit more, knowing that I'm more than just stereotypes in the media or these stories that people make up or learn from unconscious bias. I'm actually a part of something that's so much bigger than myself. Now when someone asks me, where are you from? That 3rd grade kid can answer that question. It's pretty cool.